Hey guys, and welcome back to Faithful Closet. This week, we are talking about grad school. I did a little bit of a sneak peek on my Instagram and announced that I would be going to SCAD for grad school to just pursue a higher education in luxury brand management and fashion. I am in that graduate program. Just a little background about me. My undergrad degree is in psychology as well as marketing with concentration in sales. So that's kind of what I was doing in undergrad. But I just kind of wanted to give a little bit more context about why I wanted to go to grad school. I never anticipated going, but here we are. And here's the story. Tune in if you want to hear more.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how. Let this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up.
We'll start off with a little bit of background on why I didn't want to go. So that's that. I did go to the University of West Georgia, which was an awesome experience in the beginning. I would say the first 2 years was really great. I felt like I learned a lot, and I always use a lot of the resources at University of West Georgia very well. But I just figured that while I was at school, it just wasn't for me. Like I'm just rushing to this work. I'm in college, I'm in it, but I'm just more excited about the opportunities or being in classes and learning different things. But as far as like the tests and the homework and the assignments, I just wasn't prepared to stay up on. So I was making it through, but I didn't know if I wanted to continue that. Because I think if you're going to do a master's program that you need to be very serious about it. And I just wasn't at a place that I felt serious. Number two is definitely, I had a little bit of fear about the debt. It's like, you have a little bit of debt from undergrad, some of us, some people have more. But I was really nervous about going ahead and taking out more money to go to school. I was pleasantly surprised that, I was offered a scholarship and I could apply for other things to help me pay for school without me having to take so much out as far as a loan. But still, just really nervous about that. That was one of the things that was really hindering me. And then the last I would say is just like an underlying fear of feeling like, I wasn't capable of doing that. I made pretty average grades, always A's and B's. I would always get a C in math because, like I mentioned before, I'm not good at math, good at counting cash, but not good at the, the whole, formulas and everything. That's not for me. But I just felt like, grad school was always made out to be a lot of work, very serious, and I was just like, I don't think that I'll be capable of that. You have to maintain the GPA. I always said that, I didn't feel like I was capable of doing that. But what I didn't think of was that when you really pick a subject that you love to do and that you enjoy to spend time with, like it's not going to be as much work as what you would think. So that's why I just wanted to be very picky and choosy about going into a grad program. I've had siblings that have gone to grad school. I've had friends that have gone to grad school. They even, for our senior seminar, they did bring in some grad students and they explained their workload. I'm like, I could do it, but nah, I'm not doing it. So that was the vibe for a long time up until literally last year. So like, what changed my mind, right? So long story short, I was at a little bit of a toxic job, and I was trying to figure out like what was going to be my little business thing that I was build another stream of income. So for me, I was in bridal at the time. And one of the easiest things to do in bridal, especially when you start building connections with certain seamstresses at the time, you can just make accessories. So I planned on, just, designing a veil line and selling the veils out of the current business that I was working for. So I was like, okay, I'll just do that. But eventually, working through the job, I realized that the owner of the establishment I was working for just wasn't who I thought she was, and I was just really disappointed by my experience working with her, because I was really looking forward to it. But it just became a little bit more toxic, and I just didn't feel like it was a good fit after a while. And I happened to get sick during my time here, and I believe I have strep throat. And I was sitting on the couch. You fall asleep inside of a sick coma. And I woke up watching YouTube, as I always am. And I was watching Tiffany Davis's video about how much it costs to live in Paris, I believe. And I was just like, wow, she's a black woman. And I was just like, wow, I wonder what that would be like to just go and be inside of Paris and just learn. And she was talking about her program. My program is luxury brand management and fashion. I believe she was studying something very similar, but not exactly quite. And I was very intrigued. I was like, wow, that's amazing. That sounds like something I would enjoy to do, especially with, my years of experience in luxury retail. I was like, yes, absolutely. So yeah, I started to look at different programs. I also watched a little bit more of Tiffany Davis's channel, and I saw all the different schools that were offering the same luxury brand management program or something kind of close to it. And I just kept seeing SCAD pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up. It's so insane. I will not kid you. It is so insane. So I was like, okay, well, SCAD is right here in Atlanta. There's also another one inside of Savannah as well, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, very close to where I live, probably about 15 minutes away. And I'm like, yeah, it makes more sense for me to go to SCAD. I did not apply to any other school at all. I literally only had eyes for SCAD. We went and we toured, and I was in love with the school. My tour guide, I believe her name was Linda, she was amazing. And then just walking through the walls and the hallways, just feeling the energy in the space, even though it was COVID and a little bit dead, it was just, the creativity was just bouncing off the walls, and I felt that I could be inspired at the place that I was. Also, when you're around artists, you guys tend to collaborate, and I think it would just be wonderful for my experience as a creative to be in that environment. I just took so much away from it. So yeah, from there, we did have to put together a portfolio, and what I did was just directed kind of what I wanted to put together. I did my favorite designers and how I incorporated them into life, and how to style more affordable items for things that are a little bit more luxe, to get the same look. And I also recorded a video of why I wanted to go to SCAD, kind of like an interview video that I felt would be beautiful to add on, which I did post on my Instagram for you guys to check out. But it was an amazing experience. I spent all that time, probably in December, January, if I'm not mistaken, recording, taking videos. We were even recording one of our videos at 2 a.m. It was so serious, but we turned in the portfolio, everything was perfect, and then I got accepted. So it was amazing. We were so hyped. And when I say we, I usually say me and my boyfriend, and also our photographer, Antoine. We literally worked so hard on that portfolio. And it was so random because it's we haven't really invested time in doing that before. But then, boom, all of a sudden, we're going full-fledged. And yeah, so that's kind of how everything happened and how I ended up going to grad school. I plan on taking so much away from this program, guys. Everything. Number one, networking, because that's where I feel that I need to grow the most in, just with COVID and everything else. Also, I'm half and half extrovert and introvert, so it's very hard for me to exude a lot of energy in one day. My social battery runs out very quickly. So yeah, I definitely need to network. Also plan on taking a sewing class, which I've mentioned before, because I know eventually I would like to have some sort of clothing line. Right now I'm toggling with, a evening wear line or something like that. But yeah, so I can make my own samples or, guide somebody through that process. But that's what I'm looking to do. But mainly with this degree, I'm really hoping to just capitalize on what I have going on in my life. Luxury brand management is not only just fashion, but it's also, hospitality, perfume, cars, and jewelry. And I'm still kind of like toggling around what I want to do. As a Virgo, I'm like, I can do everything at one time. What does she do? She does everything. So I'm trying to pick one thing that I'm going forth with. And by going to school, it's going to give me that direction, that inspiration, and a safe place for me to kind of develop into the butterfly that I need to be, So that's the vibe. I knew that scab was meant to be. Really just small segue. So like it was so weird. Like I usually pick my boyfriend up from work, usually every day, and we drive past like SCAD's high rise. They have like a little advertisement hanging up inside the city, and literally every time we would pass this sign for like the last year and a half, I'm telling you, he would just be like SCAD, 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 like every time we passed it. Like, keep in mind, I've never mentioned SCAD. I don't know anybody who's been to SCAD. I haven't seen anything like that. And he was literally doing that for months prior to me deciding I wanted to go to grad school or anything. And it was so weird. So then it's just like, was that where we were supposed to be going the whole time? But lots of things happen in this small span, but I'm just super excited to be here. I'm so excited to be alive, and I'm so excited to take this to the next level. I am excited to just learn and know more. My advice to you guys would be, if there is something that you're passionate about, it doesn't necessarily have to be going back to grad school. It's just about taking that time to educate yourself. You can purchase the books. You can take an e-course. You can, pay for certifications and work through those courses. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be you going to school and doing X, Y, Z. Maybe you watch a YouTuber and you want to purchase, their course on the things that they teach because they speak in a way that you would like to learn. So it's never too late to invest in yourself. And I just want you to know, like, although you feel like you've got it, everybody needs just a little bit of help. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you're like, okay, should I go to grad school? Should I not go to grad school? Definitely leave me some questions below. I have quite a few friends also. We all pretty much took a gap year or two. For me, before we decided to go to grad school. I do think that is very, 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 very helpful, because you want to decide that you're ready. And also, going to college can really burn you out. So I think you should celebrate that accomplishment of graduating from undergrad. I've graduated, I've done it, I've made my accomplishment. But then take your time to decide on what you want your grad studies to be about. I mean, your master's program to be about. Because, I mean, for me, like I said, I've used psychology and I've used marketing and I've infused them in both worlds. But also, do I want to take that to the next level with those topics? Not per se. But luxury brand management and fashion, I'll learn how to run a luxury brand, period. And that within itself is priceless to me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this and it wasn't too long. But hopefully can't wait to start getting more content out there for you guys and being more consistent. I can't wait to share everything with you guys. On Facebook Closet, we are all people. We're all just individuals walking on our own path. And I just want to encourage whatever's already inside of you. So have a beautiful rest of your day and look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.